I personally, from what I know, like Death Stranding means, like basically when whales get washed ashore or like dolphins, they call it a mass stranding. If the animals that are washed ashore are dead, they call it a dead stranding, and if they're alive, they call it a live stranding. So the game obviously has something to do with that. He's now confirmed that like after the fact, but also I think stranding probably has something to do with like the strands that are connected to them. Not too long ago, his assistant put out a thing, and she said that in our teaser we featured both connecting strands of handcuffs, umbilical cords, and also stranding of whales. Of course, there are also hints in there, the dog tags being one of these. Our game is still far from being released, but the game has already begun. They quoted game, meaning like Kojima likes to fuck with everybody, see what you can figure out.
He's gonna do some shit though that like you haven't seen in games before.
Well, he's already
I just
said
know
it.
from the performances, like just from the way that they're capturing the performances in the game, the 3D mapping that they're doing is not like any other game.
Right. Well, just so you know, this is not the final product because he hasn't even picked an engine for the game yet. He specifically went out to find people to render this specific trailer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like this is not what the game. Like this might be.
He put up pictures of how they did it.
Yeah.
They capped literally his whole body. Like
yeah.
Though every time he moves and stuff, that's actually Norman Reedus moving,
Yeah.
but it's just 3D rendered.
This might be close to what the final product looks like, but he hasn't even picked an engine yet. So, after the reveal, he did a lot of interviews. He said the game is a few years away. I'd expect it probably like 2019. I'd say probably 2019 is probably too soon for a Kojima game. Probably 2020.
Really?
Maybe.
You think
Yeah,
so?
longer. Yeah, it's gonna be a long time.
Yeah, but you think he would announce it that early?
Yeah.
Has he done that in the past?
Yeah.
No, I think
he hasn't done it, but this is unprecedented just because he's not a part of Konami anymore.
Exactly. And
And
Sony,
like, he just wants to fucking give him the DX on
Yeah.
the table. Like, go fuck yourself.
Sony's gonna give him as much time as he needs because it's gonna sell millions of copies and it'll be a masterpiece. So it doesn't matter to Sony.
Yeah.
But he has said that like he want like in the way that, and we talked about this last episode, George, where in the way that like Metal Gear changed like the action genre, where like all of a sudden in an action game you're hiding, and it grew the term stealth action, right?
Yeah.
He says that he's creating a new genre of game where like he said specifically death is taking on a new meaning. So if I had to speculate based on all like the symbolism with like the stranding and like the quantum mechanics and stuff like that, I have a feeling it's like some sort of like multiverse shit that when your character dies, like that strand is completed. Probably.
It's interesting because I follow him pretty closely on Twitter because he posts a lot of cool stuff that he likes.
Yeah, I follow him too. He posts a lot of awesome
and I can just
movies
tell
music.
from the movies he's been watching and like from the like kind of art that he's taking in where the tone of this game is and like where he's at. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like Christopher Nolan meets like Winding Refn or something. Like it's gonna have the odd it's gonna have like the oddness of a Winding Refn movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it'll have the like ambiguous narrative of one of those movies. I think it'll be like the story is definitely gonna be presented a lot better. Yeah, I think he's taking a lot of shit for Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, but we know
for shit that's out of his control.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I think he's gonna try and go back at telling stories his way.
He said that after making games for 30 years, I'm not worried at all. And back to us up, and to back us up, we've had Mark Cerny and Kyle Cooper and the people of Sony's Strand. He used the word strand. He said, of course, a strand also connects us to Norman Reedus. Thanks to this, we were able to finish this teaser in just 2.5 short months. He was kind enough to help us out and be part of this strenuous process. From the days of coin-operated games have had a continue option. If you were to fit, this is now also where I'm thinking. He said, from the days of coin-operated games, you've had a continue option if you were to fail at your mission. Failing would also mean the death of your game character. In making a game, both in story and in the game system, you depict death. However, death, he puts in quotes, is about to have a new meaning. So I definitely think it's going to have some sort of like multiverse type of
that would totally make sense.
Yeah. Still, it says the main parts of playing will not change. Comparing it to driving a car you're familiar with will have the same familiar feeling when accelerating or braking. It's when driving this familiar car without stress for a while that you'll first notice the differences. That's the kind of game it needs to be. He cites a writer named Kobo Abe who wrote a novella called Rope, which he read in high school. He says the book talks about the first inventions of the human race, the stick and the rope. The stick helped man keep distance from threats. The stick helped ape evolve into man. On the other hand, the rope helps us capture and bind important things to us. Most online games will have you fight with a stick. This might also be said about social networks. Stick and rope are all... He's just doing his, like, typical, like... I don't know, I feel like this is going to be a great game.
Just pontificating.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's just cool because he's really good at building hype for it, and he's good at engaging, like, his fans on an intellectual level.
Well, he's also... He's, like, he's a very
like,
smart
kind of
guy.
Figuring shit out. Oh, yeah, and he's very smart, and he's also very...
He's very artistic.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Like,
yeah, he's a very, like, expressive person with his games.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much a Kojima game. Always. It's one of the first, like, video game, like, auteurs, like a filmmaker would be or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one last thing I just wanted to mention about it. His assistant, she mentioned on Twitter, she said that, she's talking about the title. She says about the thing that I said, the mass stranding and all that of whales and things. She also said in this title's case, it means something, in bold letters, has been stranded from some world, in bold letters. So I'm thinking either something has come to Earth and is stranded here. I think more likely Norman Reedus is probably like a human seed, like sent out into like a black hole to like, populate other areas of space and stuff, and then like he's stranded someplace. But yeah, no, definitely interesting. Obviously excited. I don't think you should expect this game until like 2020, maybe even later.
Yeah, I think you'll forget about it by the time you hear the next thing about it.
I really didn't think it would be. You'd mention it that early.
Well, that's the only thing. It's like I feel like maybe it's a mistake to do it.
Like,
this
I would
early
say like
'cause-
2 years. Or
I don't think it's a
something,
mistake.
but do you
I think it's
longer?
cool. I think it's really interesting to know that he's working on something new, and it'll help.
Well, we knew he was working on something, but the only thing that this does now is that like at every game conference we're going to expect to see something, and we're not going to.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I
because
don't think so.
So I mean,
I think it's nice as a fan of him from when he left Konami to know that he is now working on something that's super interesting, and he's kind of like has the freedom to do what he wants, and it just helps him stay somewhat relevant. It helps his fans know that he's fucking doing something, and he's doing it.
Right.
It's like something cool.
I kind of feel like there's definitely some symbolism in there too with what happened with Konami and Metal Gear. Like Norman Reedus is like holding the baby, which could.
Yeah,
be...
did you see what he posted on Instagram afterwards?
No.
You didn't see that?
Oh, the Konami tears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This fucking shit was hilarious.
But like,
it's Hideo Kojima drinking a teacup, and it's like photoshopped. It says Konami tears on the thing of it.
Yeah. But like, that's like kind of symbolic too. Like, and this might be reaching, but like, Norman Reedus is Kojima holding the baby, which is Metal Gear. Baby disappears. He got Metal Gear yanked away from him. So I don't know. Definitely gonna be good. It's fucking Kojima. There's like zero chance it's gonna be bad. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.